So I've seen this recently. It says Trump unloads on press in response to Fauci tweet. And this is the media coverage. So let's get into it, boys and girls.
Now, by the way, and I like him. Today I walk in, I hear I'm going to fire him. I'm not firing him. I think he's a wonderful guy.
Tweet something that said fire Fauci.
Why did you fire Fauci?
I retweeted somebody.
See? He retweeted somebody. He thought, oh, that won't really matter. It's Donald Trump. Well, let's see what he gets into in this mischievous video.
I don't know. They said fire. Doesn't matter.
Did you notice that when you retweeted it?
Yeah, I notice everything.
So you retweeted it even though it said time to fire
No,
Fauci?
no, that's somebody's opinion. All that is his opinion.
And you elevated
No,
it.
I was.
So another backstory to this. Apparently, this Fauci's tweet said some absolutely bullshit stuff, and people think Donald Trump retweeting someone else's tweet on his official account makes everything possible, everything worthwhile. But let's see what the press are going to ask him. I'm really confused, interested right here, because I thought that he would fire him too, but we don't know. This is actually you work in OBS, never mind.
I was told about that. I said, I'm not firing. In fact, if you ask your friends in the office, in the public relations office, I was immediately called upon that. And I said, no, I like him. I think
He likes him, but yet he'll treat anything for popularity. It's Donald Trump. Mr. Popular. He's like the popular kid in school. He, what is it? He says stuff that people like, and then he backtracks on it sometimes when he knows he's wrong. But he'll try to do what most of the media do these days and deflect from the situation, make us forget about it.
he's terrific because this was a person's view. Not everybody's happy with Anthony. Not everybody's happy with everybody. But I will tell you, we have done a job the likes of which nobody's ever done. The mobilization, getting of equipment, all of the things we've done. Nobody's ever done a job like this. We have 50 governors and territories, by the way. People don't ever mention that. We have territories. We have 50 governors and territories, and many of those governors are Democrats.
Maybe we should tell America that you're too big and that a $2 trillion stimulus plan is not worth the money, to be honest, because America's big, but has anything really good come out of America in the last couple of years? Like, state-wise? Not really, I don't think. You got 52 states and lots more territories. But does that benefit the country being that big? Yes and no. Yes, because you got all the finance and all the money coming in, but no, because then you have a higher rate of people to look after them, more people that you have to talk to, and it makes the chain of command really split and apart. But anyway, we keep going about this COVID. Oh shit.
And they can't find anything to complain about. And honestly, many of them didn't do their jobs. I'll let you know someday. Let's see what happens. But I may let you know who's not doing their job. I can tell you the ones that are good, both Republican and Democrat, and the ones who don't know what they're doing. But we help some of the ones that don't know what they're doing. They should have had their own stockpiles. And now, if they want, we can build them stockpiles of ventilators. The hardest thing is a ventilator because
Well, the hardest thing is ventilator, but why would you stockpile ventilators? It makes no sense. Yes, you need some of them, but this is... America's fucked, to be honest, perfectly honest with you. No one expected it to get this big, but they didn't put the plans in place early enough to stop millions of people dying in America. Well, that's the sad truth. Millions of people die in America, millions more will get infected with the coronavirus.
it's expensive. It takes a while to get. We got them, and nobody believed we did. Now, many of the governors were asking for far too many. And we said they were asking for far too many. We talked, and we said, you said very strongly that they just don't need that many. You said they don't need that many beds, Deborah. So that's it. Steve, go ahead.
You and Dr. Fauci are on the same page.
Yeah, we have been from the beginning.
Right, I get who this cunt is now. Dr. Fauci, this is the guy that you've seen on like Philip DeFranco, you've probably seen on lots of people. He's the doctor that was the first was leading the coronavirus teams. But anyway, I digress.
I don't know what it is exactly, but if I put somebody's opinion up, I don't mind controversy. I think controversy is a good thing, not a bad thing. But I want it to be honest controversy. Now, when I got a call not very quickly, and nobody, saw that as being any big deal. They said, "How are you doing with Dr. Fauci?" I said, "I'm doing great." And I didn't talk to Dr. Fauci even until we just...
Stop talking about Dr. Fauci. Moved to about here somewhere.
Low, and per capita we're very low. We're doing very well. But how do you close up the United States of America? So on January 6th, no deaths. On January 11th, no deaths. And no cases. On January 17th, no cases, no deaths. I'm supposed to close up the United States of America when I have no cases.
You didn't close it down in the middle of March. Should you have closed it down earlier?
I closed
That's the
down
question.
from
It's not
China.
January.
Excuse me.
Closed down from China from January. Wow, Donald Trump. As you see, by the end of January, it was not in China, just China anymore. It was in Italy. It was in... Where else was it in? Lots of Hong Kong, Taiwan. Gone to Japan, South Korea by February. So it's like, what does he know? It wasn't just in China by the end of January.
Closed it down from China. And by the way, some people think I should have waited longer and maybe ridden it out. I disagree with them, okay? But it was thought of. I mean, that was an alternative. There are a lot of people that would have said, let's write it out. Now, I'll give you the
Well, those people were even worse than you, Donald Trump. To be perfectly honest. If people said to write it out, you'd have, maybe a 30 population die, which is, of 300 million. That's... what's that? 6 million people die? That's dumb. 600,000 people die. It's still dumb.
the good news. If I would have done that, it would have been, I think, catastrophic, because their numbers are, Anthony, 1.6 to 2.2 million people would have died if we tried to do that.
So 2 million people would have died. It's even worse. That's what? Just 0.8%. Still not many, but that's still too many to die, to be honest, from coronavirus.
And I did this last time. Cut it in half. Don't say 2.2 million. Cut it in more than half. Say 1 million people died. Well, that's much more than the Civil War. Cut it in half. Take the million and cut it in half. That's 500,000 people would have died. Now, that number we would have reached, okay? That would have been easy to reach if we did nothing. So we did the right thing, and our timing was very good. But
It probably was very good, Donald Trump. But, to be quite honest with him, should have been earlier. It should have been a way lot earlier, to be honest. And that's what's quite frustrating about Donald Trump. Sometimes he does it too early, sometimes he does it too late, and sometimes he will just stall for ages, which is quite frustrating about him.
But here's the one thing, and you have to say this. When you ask me, why didn't you do this? How come when I did the ban on China and some instituted some very tough things, how come Nancy Pelosi a month later is in Chinatown saying, let's all march, this is not going to happen? How come we have many of the experts from CNN and many other networks, if you call CNN a network, I don't personally, but...
Doesn't call CNN a network, that's fucking hilarious. It's called the Central News Network, Donald Trump. Obviously, because you don't own that, you don't believe it's a real network, but then that would be me going to my bias about the networks over in America don't share. They're biased as fuck. I'll tell you that for a fact.
We have CNN, we have many other places, and they're all saying, he doesn't need to do it. He doesn't need to do it. All I'm saying is this. How do you close down the greatest economy in the history of the world when on January 17th...
The greatest economy in the whole of the world. Donald Trump. China's coming for you. And it will beat you. I'll tell you that for a fact. Don't let China beat you, Donald Trump. Don't let China beat you.
You have no cases and no death. When on January 21st, you have one case and no death. One case. Think of that. Now, we're supposed to close down the country, but here's what happened. When on January 31st, I instituted the ban, Joe Biden went crazy. He said, you don't need the ban. He didn't go crazy. Like, he didn't even know what the hell the ban was. But so he didn't go crazy. But he did say, he did call me xenophobic. Wait a minute. He called me xenophobic. He called me a racist because he has since apologized and he said I did the right thing. So when you say, why didn't you this? Every day.
I see that there, Donald Trump. You're trying to spin it a little bit, but to be honest, you did well. Well, we thought you did well. But China, if you're going to ban China, you should go on harder and so much faster than that, Donald Trump. Even though they absolutely tanked your economy. I would have tanked the economy from China and everywhere else. You should have done it early, Donald Trump. You should have been in lots more places earlier.
Democrat thought I made a mistake when I did it. I saved tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of lives by putting it.
That you bought, the argument is that you bought yourself some time. You didn't use it to prepare hospitals. You didn't use it to ramp up testing. Right now,
You're so disgraceful. It's so disgraceful the way you said it. Let me just listen. I just went over it.
Or this rant's supposed to make people
I just went over it.
I see that there. They should have, but they didn't. They buy themselves time. But at the end of the day, it's not just him running this country. He's the placeholder, pretty much. There's lots more people that run the country, especially the size of America. You've got all the other people that didn't do the job as well either. So blame it doesn't do on Trump because he's the main man. It's not all his fault, but you can lay a majority blame with Donald Trump because was the person that people wanted. He's the person that won the election and got voted into Congress, right? And he's the president. He's in the White House. He's the one to make all the brutal decisions. Besides, I don't know what if you're like MI6. It's fuck what they call it. CIA or if he's like a CIA person or something, but he's the one facing up to the public every day. No matter how brutal it is, he's doing a job. Most people don't like Donald Trump or what he does or how he acts. I don't like him either, but he's doing a job, and I applaud him for doing a job. But there's time and place for arguing Donald, and it's not now. It's definitely not now.
Crisis.
Nobody thought we should do it, and when I did it.
But what did you do with the time that you bought?
You know
the
we
month
did.
Of February.
You know what we did.
Gap.
What do you do?
Month of February.
What do you do when you have no case in the whole United States?
You had cases
when
in February.
Excuse me, you reported it. 0 cases, 0 deaths on January 17th.
February. The entire
January. I said in January.
Your video has a complete gap.
On January 30th.
What did your administration do in February with the time that your travel ban bought
A lot.
What?
A lot. And in fact, we'll give you a list. What we did, in fact, part of it was up there. We did a lot. Look. You know you're a fake. You know that. Your whole network, the way you cover it is.
Now he's going to discredit the network because he can't agree. He can't speak about it because she's just going on and blah 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 blah. And just looking at this, I see it's turned to bullshit in America. They're asking for Donald Trump's head, it looks like, pretty much, and it's quite frustrating, but he's doing a job and you picked him, so sayonara suckers. That's your choice.
It's fake. And most of you, and not all of you, but the people are wise to you. That's why you have a lower approval rating than you've ever had before, times probably 3. And when you ask me that question, let me ask you this: why did Biden apologize? Why did he write a letter of apology? No, that's very important. Why did the Democrats think that I acted too quickly? You know why? Because they really thought that I acted too quickly. We have done a great job. Now, I could have kept it open. And I could have done what some countries
did and done fuck all, but he didn't, did he? To be honest, Donald Trump's Donald Trump. Moving on.
Countries are doing. They're getting beat up pretty badly. I could have kept it open. I thought of keeping it open because nobody's ever heard of closing down a country, let alone the United
States of America. And this is your boy, the token Maori. Peace out. I don't care if it's claimed by Fox News, then fuck them, because fuck them, I don't care. Goodbye.